handkerchief had people in Iran. We will open this like this Iran is closing the door. Right? So that's the way Allah do you. They locked into rebellion. They can't kiss no behind. That's the way Allah locked them in. They trapped. Our niggas is trapped. Everybody's trapped. They trapped. That's too bad. Should have had more sense. You know, they're going to send these high school people up against a nigga that's life been on the line all his life. You know? And we ain't never let them set us up. You remember the niggas want to fight on the hill? You see me go out there. Well, I went to the door. Somebody said I had a scatter gun or something. But I ain't never walked out. Any stuff come up? Because I know the little boy that was 17 was that woman's daughter. And she was over here to get something going. And her son was hanging out with my grandson. I started to see my Musa because they was messing with the little brother. Bull crap. They was trying to get us to fight them niggas on the hill, and we lose our whole mission, right? How you gonna fight them niggas? Right? And call the people to Islam. When all them niggas is getting months off their parole and everything. Right? They done moved every Negro around here. When we bought this place, I looked where everybody was, and I looked at the shift over and how they treated us. All them niggas was the police. So they wasn't gonna trick us, and then all the brothers told me, yeah, when we had a meeting, yeah, we wanna fight. Yeah, I said, shit, we'll have another meeting on that. And then the niggas leave in 2-3 days. Why? Because divide, conquer, and rule. You know one thing is true, we never fight niggas. We don't fight niggas. Because niggas is sent by the white man. Stay on the white man's ass. We whooping that cracker worse than we ever been whooping his body. Psychological. Yeah. You think he's happy? How many niggas you see with the rock bar? I just tease him with that. I said, yeah, man, the rock bar was hanging out there. We was laughing, talking. Right? And they get mad, then they take my phone and go through it. When I come back, they see Tehran, oh, you was without any job. I said, yeah, we was hanging out. We technically was. This is my home. And they can see that y'all are friends. That's the only president in the world that I was trying to figure out a phrase to explain something. He says, okay, our hearts are in contact. I said, that boy, that is it. He's all right. Because ain't no other politician ever said that unless it's something. He said, don't worry, I got it. You know, I got it. Our hearts are in contact.
Remember when he was president, we called him the president of the world.
President of the world, everybody liked him, you know. But the Uncle Tom, okay. So, just like Iran should have a space program, and that space program will cover all of its weapons development. It's a space program, right? So our non-territorial government will cover everything we want to do. On this level, we're dealing with presidents, vice presidents, ambassadors, because our line can stand any line. There's no president and ambassador that can talk out ahead of us in the world. Including Putin, definitely not Trump. None of them. On any subject, anywhere. Whether it's Korea, we can sit down with all of them. You know, the China, when we get to that, I talk to the China, and I say this hotel accident. And nigga, how you know that? I said, Japan, y'all got to live in Japan because the white man gonna blow you up. And you now number 2, and Japan is number 3. And because Japan is too dumb, of course I'm going to go to Japan, I'm going to tell them, you go on, tell them that you messed up in Nanking in 1937. We're sorry, we effed up bad. What we did in China is unspeakable. It was inhuman. Why? So they can be home folks, number one and number two in the world. If you leave it to the United States, you leave a door open, they'll have them watching each other. But if Japan and China join together, and I'm going over there and talk to them too. They still got some people from Chairman Mao's town around. I'm going to talk to them. You remember me? I'm the nigga when y'all was in Tanzania building the railroad. That's me. The 71, 72 Tanzan Railroad from Dar es Salaam to Zambia. I remember y'all. Y'all was good folks. On the Tanzan Railroad, there was no Chinese African baby anywhere. But the Tanzan Highway, built by the Americans, had mixed breeds all over the place, and it was all left up, going to the same place. Same place. Chinese. Anyway, so we can talk to all the people about all the issues on a level of competency, and technically a little bit maybe in front of all of them, because we're solution oriented. That's why we said China, the Japanese are this, and they'll consolidate Asia against India, because the U.S. is breeding India to, challenge China. Okay? But if you got Japan, China, and all the rest of the slanted-eyed people, Cambodia, all of them, and make friends with Indonesia, Malaysia, and be friendly to the Chinamans. We as Muslims said that we're sorry for messing with y'all, and win all of the Muslims. That's all you gotta do. You're big enough. When you're big, you act big. You don't keep, we're gonna keep little Mongol, we're gonna keep this little part, we ain't gonna let y'all have, just like India and Tibet. Okay, big old India gonna keep Tibet. You know what I mean? Big old India gonna keep Kashmir. Right? They ain't big. If you got a little guy over there, hey man, I just want to have my own stuff. Is it all right? Sure. In fact, we'll help you. Right? That's the way big niggas do. They're not big. So we come in, we can talk with everybody on every level. That's what we're about right now. That's our goal. So the last thing, it's simple. But for the next year, we work on all this other stuff, but the goal is 10 teams to cover the next Eid. We got 10 teams, we go to all the big Eids. Everybody knows. We may take loudspeakers, We have a good time, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows. So the goal is to raise not 8,000, but to raise 50,000. We may double that. It don't make no difference. But that small goal will take care of all the other fundamentals that we have to, from Richmond to Baltimore, from Richmond to Baltimore. See what I mean? That's what goals should do. And that's simple, but it's big. So, the brothers couldn't make it tonight, but we'll just offer, if they'd like to be a part of it, everybody's welcome. Bygones is bygones. Or, stay over there with that nigga, whoever he is. The weasel. Stay over there with the weasel. That's pitiful. Go into a masjid and they don't say nothing, they kill Muslims, right? They kill Muslims and the niggas don't say nothing about it. Something is wrong. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna do that, inshallah. Any questions or comments?
When you said the weasel, he mentioned the name, and I bust out laughing. He said, it made common sense.
The man is a weasel. The man is just a weasel. I'm not against nobody. But, in the early days, to go everywhere we go and be sitting there to try to block us is ridiculous. And guess what? Think about it. Everybody been working against us, and here we are. happy, optimistic, and that's the main thing too I want to close with. We choose our own attitude. They don't choose it. We look at what are our strong points and what are our weak points, and we play to our strong side. Our strong side is building over revenge. Building over revenge. We've always done that, and we're going to keep on doing that. We're not going to waste no time. Even Frank Sinatra said it. The best revenge is success, maximum success. So, the best revenge we'll get is visualize, and I'll close with this finally. Visualize tearing down all these old houses and all 3 to 4 story, whatever, right here. That's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, we have a little temporary paint job. Instead of doing it this weekend, we'll put it off to next weekend. I don't want to be oppressive. But we can paint the masjid. The masjid needs a little paint job. And don't worry about Nick Roches. Here's where we play that, see. Nick Roches want to make it look like
Sanford itself.
No. This is what it'll do. When we paint and fix up everything and start building new houses soon, they will say those people did that hard work, and look what they're doing now. Because they'll have to take that crap somewhere else. And, we'd tell his wife, you can't put up no damn clothesline. This is not Morocco. What the hell are you doing? Put up clothesline. Not that it looks ghetto or nothing. Now, in the country, we had clotheslines. And 30, 40 years ago, probably all of us had clothesline. But not now. Maybe in the back of your yard somewhere, right?
That's what you got laundromats for.
Okay, but that's just trying to make our place look tacky. That's all.
Yeah.
But remember, we don't never lose nothing by playing along with the program. We use everything people do against us for a benefit. Everything. There's nothing that's not a benefit. That's what we do. So, alhamdulillah, are there any questions about anything? Any comments? Okay.
How do you, it takes resources to really make a lot of things happen in our community. You know what I mean? Money.
Yeah.
And it seems like the people, man, don't, the people don't like to participate. They do everything. They go get their head done.
All of our enemies are well funded, and we're the most underfunded crew, but the most productive in the United States. There are several answers to that. Number one is the general answer, like we're traveling around the world. That includes different countries, groups, nations, and movements that we know. And we're taking our program. What we've done is earth-shaking. And people know about it. Everybody knows that we're the target here in America. When I go to programs around the world, everybody already knows. The first thing they say, some of them said it on TV. Imam Musa is in America. We're over here in Iran. For him to say what he's saying in America, that's what Azadi never said. They said, okay. So, first of all, it takes multi-millions of dollars to do what we're talking about. So, we'll raise a lot of that by visiting and raising funds. We have the story. We're going to tell people the story. Stalingrad to Oakland. And we already had a storyline been ready. The storyline's been ready for 5 years at least. So we're going to travel. We'll probably start in South Africa where we're better known. Maybe spend a month there and come back here. And we're going to tell the people our story. We're going to tell it with gusto and proof. paperwork and everything to prove everything we're saying and to show them how it's possible. Remember, that's the main part of our mission, is to show people what we've already done. It's possible. You don't have to submit to the white man. Okay, the next thing on money. A while back, they took our bank accounts, which is illegal, and gave them to Mukhtar now. That's illegal. We'll sue the bank when we get ready for 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars. That's all. That's what we do. But usually when they bust somebody, take their money, take their dough, put them in jail, that's what I'm used to. You have to start again because you don't get your money back. We waited, we delayed. Remember we talked about delay? We delayed a lot of this stuff. There's one thing about delay and wealth. They hit us about 10 blows in a row. 50,000 here at the house, 50,000 at the Masjid. They tons of fines. Then fines here, no, they just passed me a fine. Right? And the ayats go forth whether equipped lightly or heavily, strive and struggle in the way of Allah. That money that we had saved up, we said it what it's for. We said we had to lecture on 10%, what do we call it, 10% something?
10% rule.
10% rule. When we gave all our money away, remember we gave all our money away to our friend, everybody saw it. We had $581, I showed it. And then we back to $100,000. Okay? And then they took that. That was our fund for the jihad. And we called the 10% rule. Remember, we said we got to get Imam Jamil out of jail. And so we need $1 million for that. We need, and remember, we've always put other people's preferences before our own. Okay, so when they took that, that's supposed to have broken our back. Well, hey man, that was a year ago. We back. No, niggas is back. That's the way we did it in Dunya. Are you knocking me over? And give them a month or 2 months, a year, the nigga is back. Therefore, we have funds sufficient enough to begin the jihad, and we wanted to have low funds because we wanted to live up to the Quranic ayah. Go forth, whether equipped lightly or heavily, and strive and struggle in the way of Allah with your goods and your persons. That's why we haven't went to court to win $5, 10, 20, $30 million. That would be easy to do what we're saying now. We're going to be well on our way before we get a dime from the case. The case is set up to win. I can't lose those cases. And if I did, who cares? Because we're going back to the old time when, yeah, you want to mess with our money, B-word personality? Now we're back. That's the way niggas used to deal with the white man. F you, cracker. And your homespun niggas, them B-word niggas, a whole troop of them came down, one nigga, something wrong, I would be ashamed to tell anybody I was on a team with government, Saudi supported, Zionist supported, fully supported. The niggas against one man and can't hurt him. I wouldn't tell nobody. Was you on that team? No, I wasn't on that team. I wouldn't tell nobody that I was on a team that can't bust the grape. That comes from Allah. See, y'all may not have lost all y'all friends, but I'm not in this for me. That Peckerwood killed, when you talk about George Jackson, the Soledad Brothers, Fleeta Drunk on them, Billy Crystal's them, every one of them was my homeboy. And that Peckerwood blew them away. All of them. And they would one get away? Me? You think I'm going to sell out for a damn piece of little punk stuff? And the way y'all saw that movie, what was that, Birth of a Nation? Busting niggas' teeth out and feeding them. See, the grown niggas here have been with that white man in the back. I was born in 1945. I am a lucky nigga to have been, I understand Reconstruction and all of that. Because I was born in Arkansas, the deep south. I got lucky to see the whole show and then go all around the world and get all the money and have all the tenders and everything and then come to Islam. No. We can't lose. I don't even see any way. I don't see any way. Like I told them 10 years ago, only thing you can do to me personally, Peckerwood, is shoot me in the head. Other than that, you finished. Yeah. And the people was telling me that I was lying about age regression. I feel like Allah won't give me another 30 years and I'll retire at 100, maybe. Visualize this stuff. See, in concentration camps and every other place like that, some of the people that made it had a will to live. They did a study on those type of situations. They had a will to live. Other people couldn't give up. They didn't have a will to live. It's not a will to live. It's a will to see a good world. And I'll finally close with this. These two aspects in a human being, a low-down, rotten MF, is truth. And then there's angelic nigga. They both exist. We going after the angelic part of the nigga. They can go where they want. They can give me statistics on how rotten niggas is, and I can say, shoot, that ain't nothing. I got 6 notebooks, but I know more about the nigga than you do. He done cut my throat personally, more than he ever cut yours. You just read about throat cutting. You ain't got your throat cutting. But there's good niggas. There's good niggas. We going after the good, not only in blacks, in whites and everything. What we were saying in the cookbook, we got to rescue America. That's the next mission. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
The beauty about fundraising, or the fundraising that we've been doing, is that's what you realize, that there are people who are willing to give, and you see the opposition of those who, when they see us out there,
we just go out with boxes.
right?
Don't nobody help niggas do nothing. It's not a lot of money, but 7 or 8 grand will help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a few people help with iftar, a few people help here, a few people help there. We sell a few cars. We used to sell books. Shoot, we bought half the stuff we got around here with books. Negroes didn't make no money selling books. Shoot, we go to a program, sell $4,000-$5,000 worth of books, and then the big book dealers had Negroes working in there. I don't know if y'all remember. Them Negroes would come by. Remember Chicken Lips? Chicken Lips would come by with a U-Haul, a little U-Haul. Chicken Lips would have all of them books. Remember them books over there? Bible, Quran, Science, anything you can name. Those expensive printed books. Prayer for Saudi's book, and the big one by Ismail Farouki. They sold that at Halalco for $100. I'd sell it for $40, $50. You remember that? Where did you get that book from? The owners of the book could come by and look under the table. And listen. And that was 20 years ago, 97, the same time Princess Diana died and got killed. Look at all of the tape. How many of those Islamic encyclopedias do you have? I said, I got a few. How much will you sell them to us for? I said, I'll sell them for $40 a piece. How many? You have 1,000? I said, where did you get them? It's none of your business. We printed that book. What's the name? The Arabic book. I'm the printer in this book. And I sell it to customers, the best ones, for $12. You're selling it over here for $8. I said, yeah, what I do is I have a sale. Since y'all got all the tables, because y'all hooked up here. So what I do is, I just take a Bible, Quran, and Science, which I would pay $25 for a box that had 72 in it. And then old Chicken Lips would have books scattered all over the van. So I said, man, let me collect them scraps. He said, yeah, take them. So I put all this, I call them scraps. One time Chicken Lips was out of money. He said, yeah, man, I sold the scraps and I made $400. I said, right. So basically you saying no more scraps. But we did that with books. You know, we paid for books from California, for Mukhtar, abdul-Alim, and we took oil out there enough to, 10,000 in oil and stuff like that. They could make $40,000 wholesale. I don't know what they did with it. They must have drank it or something. I'd take them, all the books that we had, I would order the same for them for free. I would pay for them here. They never come up with nothing. Them people, something's wrong with them people. But anyway, about money. The concept of going forward, whether equipped lightly or heavily in the cause of Allah, helps keep alive the tawakkul, trust in Allah, or what we call now tafweed, delegating our affairs to Allah. We've always done that, technically. And remember, everything that anybody heard here, we did everything. Every plan we ever made, we accomplished it. With everybody or many people working against us. So this is another phase. This is another test for us. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help, we'll go all the way. The thing about it is the world needs us right now. The world needs people with morals, ethics, and what's called moral imagination. We're not like another group that we do what's best for us. We do what's best for Islam, what's best for the Muslims, what's best for the humanity, and first of all, what's best for the earth itself. You see what I mean? This is not so, but we can't lose. And remember that when you feel like that, you can't lose. Yeah, you can't lose, you know. So, alhamdulillah. Any more questions or comments? Okay, so you got that the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. الحمد لله.